Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix, and it is time for the Quick 3 Tarot for Thursday, June the 9th. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. All right, for the Quick 3 Tarot, it is for the collective. As I always say, with any tarot reading, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading the energy and the tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. Now that we got that out the way, I'm using one of my oracle decks, and then I'm going to clarify those 3 cards with 3 tarot cards. Okay, energy that I was picking up during pre-shuffle. This is your homework. There is a song. It's kind of an old song. It's like about 20 years old, give or take, maybe a little bit older, by Vanessa Williams, and it's called Happiness. Listen to that song, because that's the energy that I picked up in the pre-shuffle. Because in the chorus, it's like, I'm the only one who's responsible for me having fun, and you can't take my happiness, which what she's doing or singing about in the song is she's saying to that individual, like, hey, you're not the one responsible for my happiness. I'm the one responsible for my happiness. And that's what I feel the energy is, at least in the pre-shuffle. Now we're going to see what comes out in the main. Also, there may be some negativity going on, which might be why the whole happiness thing is around, where there may be people around you that might be on that negative frequency. And you may need to take a step back and be like, hold on, I don't need to get caught up in that frequency. Let me stay on my frequency, which is about happiness and joy and laughter and fun, and approach it that way versus meeting people on their frequency. Again, you're responsible for your happiness. All right. May I have the energy for the collective for Thursday, June 9th. May I have the energy for the collective for Thursday, June 9th. Energy for the collective for Thursday, June 9th. What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? Also, one thing that you want to do is listen to your intuition as well, because your intuition will be helpful during this time, especially since we're moving into the sign of Cancer in a few weeks. And bottom of the deck, reflective truth, identity, self-love, and acceptance. So for some of you, you need to learn how to accept yourself as you are. Maybe that's where some of the happiness is at. There may be certain things about you, whether it's physically or what have you, financially, where you're looking at your life and you're not happy about certain things. But the thing is that you have the ability to change it. And you may have to take a hard look at yourself and learn how to appreciate you as you are. Of course, we can always improve. That's life in general. May I have 3 cards, please? But again, you're the one who's responsible for your happiness. May I have 2 more cards, please? Okay, that's too many. May I have 2 more cards, please? Thank you. May I have 1 more card, please? Okay, too many. It gave me 3. May I have 1 more card, please? That Sun card, or, whoa. Okay. I get it. Yeah. So 2 cards came out again, and this time they jumped out, so I don't have any choice but to take them. So let's start going over these. First card that came out is Wisdom. Psychic, intuition, and truth. And it's interesting because this came out during the pre-shuffle. So again, this is going back to, you need to trust your intuition right now is what you need to do. Also, just 1 second. My laptop is acting cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. All right. Also, one thing I can tell you is that due to some of these things that are happening around you, I'm going back to the reflective truth. Certain things have happened to you, and you may be looking at these things and they may be making you unhappy because you're like, okay, why is my life looking like this, or why is this going on? But what you're not realizing is that some of these things that have happened, that it's brought you wisdom that you wouldn't have otherwise had if it had not happened. So, and that's part of when you're looking at yourself and doing an actual audit of everything and evaluating stuff, you're learning that, okay, wait a second, there was a reason for this. And that's where wisdom comes in at. Going back to the intuition, some of you might actually have psychic abilities as well. Again, listening to your intuition is a big thing. Second card that came out is Sanctuary, healing and comfort, faith and restoration. So for some of you, you may need to find a sanctuary, or you may have something that you consider a sanctuary. But it's all about having faith. During the pre-shuffle in the tarot deck, the Strength card came out. I feel that you are, for those of you who are really spiritual, and I can say, I need the word. Devoted. I'll take that one. Devoted when it comes to your faith. That is going to play a big role on ushering in more happiness for you. At the same time, you also have to recognize that you may need a sanctuary if you don't have one. A sanctuary isn't necessarily a place. A sanctuary is wherever your mental stability is. If you need to go into your closet and close the door and just sit and pray and think or whatever for 5 minutes, then so be it. Let your closet be your sanctuary. If you need to walk outside of your house and go out to your car and stay in your car for 5 minutes and think and meditate and pray, so be it. Let that be your sanctuary. If you need to go to the park so you can be out in nature and tap into that energy for 5 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever, let that be your sanctuary. But beware, or just know, I should say, that you need to have some type of sanctuary to keep you grounded and not being overwhelmed by things. Now, the other card that came out is Exiled. It says illusion of separation, disconnect, and isolation. So, and it's interesting that this comes out after the Sanctuary card. Some of you might be feeling like you have been left out of something. I can tell you that isolation is not always a bad thing. Sometimes isolation can bring a lot of clarity too. Also, something just said to me, what your perception of something is may be totally different. And you may need to change your perception about things, where you're thinking that you're being isolated from something, but really you're not. And it's interesting because the card that followed it, that came out, is Exploration. And it says boldness, unknown, limitless. So this is saying, hey, you can get out there, and the sky's and really not even the sky's the limit. There are no limits. It's limitless. You can get out there and explore. For those of you, because I'm going back to the perception thing that I heard when I was talking about exiled and isolation. Some of you may feel like you're confined to a certain area, or to a certain position, or to a certain way of thinking, but really you're not. You have the ability to explore. You have free will. And in that ability to explore, there isn't a limit on what you can discover. However, to take advantage of this type of energy with exploration, you have to be bold, is what it has to be done. And this fourth card, I'm just counting this as the card at the bottom of the deck, is what I'm doing. All right. Can we clarify wisdom, please? Can we clarify wisdom? Can we clarify wisdom? It's kind of interesting. I have seen the High Priestess. This one does not want to go back in. 5 of Swords. So for some of you, I'm picking up tough decisions. And also I heard some people don't want to make the tough decisions because there's going to be something that's lost. Like there's some decisions where it's like a no-win situation. You might be in a catch-22 situation where it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And with the swords, swords deal with thoughts and communication, air energy, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. You could be dealing with that. You could be one of those signs. It could be in your chart or in the individual's chart. But what I heard was it's like a no-win situation is what you're doing while you're trying to resolve issues. But you know that a decision has to be made, the tough decisions. And you're going to have to use your wisdom to do that. And I feel like once you make that decision, you'll get the victory. It's just probably going to be at a cost. It's going to be like there's going to be some collateral damage regardless. All right. Can we clarify sanctuary, please? Can we clarify sanctuary? Thank you. Star card is healing. Aquarius. Some of you could be an Aquarius. You could be dealing with an Aquarius. Or someone could have Aquarius in their chart. This is a double confirmation when it comes to healing. Because on the sanctuary card, it said... Hold on if I can get it to focus. Is it doing it? I know you can barely see it, but like right there, it almost did it. It's like healing is the first word on here. The star card is about healing. The star card can also be about recognition. It can be about a wish being granted too. A star card can also be about direction. Maybe when you're in your sanctuary, maybe when you are having that moment to yourself, you're seeking direction and you're finding direction. But really the biggest thing that I'm picking up from this, something is being healed is what's happening. So there's some type of healing coming into your life. It could be physical, could be mental, could be overall. I'm not a licensed doctor or psychiatrist. I'm just a person reading the energy and the tarot cards. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But there's some type of healing that is available to you. Can we clarify exile, please? Can we clarify exile? Whoa, okay. Those are too many. The Hermit is clarifying that. Okay. It's interesting because the Hermit card fell on the Star card. And with the exiled, I feel like for some of you, this is an exile by choice. This is Virgo energy, is what this is. And with the Hermit, if you see that light right there, that is faith. That is knowledge. That is healing. That is restoration. But it's also gaining perspective. It is gathering information. Some of you are doing, when it comes to this healing, you're doing the work within. On this exiled part, this is by choice for some of you. I'm actually going to say almost for a majority of you. You are doing self-healing right now, is what you're doing. Again, this is Virgo energy. Once all of this is done, I feel like you're going to step out again. What's at the bottom of the deck? 5 of Cups. Some of you are probably healing from a heartache of some sort where you're sad. So I have 5 of Cups and 5 of Swords on here. You had to step away from a situation. But again, you are responsible for your happiness. As you are healing, I believe that is what you will see. Can we clarify exploration? Can we clarify? And then under the 5 of cups was the 5 of pentacles. I just caught that. So that's 3 5s. There's a change coming because 555 is an angel number, which deals with major changes coming in. So keep that in mind too. Can we clarify exploration, please? Those are too many cards. Can we clarify exploration, please? Whoa. Well, that explains it. And then at the bottom of the deck, okay, drop the card. World card. So a cycle is closing. That is what's happening. And at the bottom of the deck is 8 of Cups. You're walking away from something. So yeah, you're going to get your happiness. That's all of this self-reflection that's going on. You will get your happiness, because don't forget, 8 of Cups, next cup is the 9 of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. So you're going towards your wish fulfillment. You're realizing that you are responsible for your happiness. That's why I say I'm picking up that energy. Listen to that Vanessa Williams song, Happiness. Just listen. And again, she's talking about someone that she's dating, but listen to the chorus. I'm the only one who's responsible for me having fun, and you can't take my happiness. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. But definitely, World card, 8 of Cups, you're going to go for it. You're doing some internal healing right now, but once you're finished with your internal healing and getting grounded, you're going to be good to go. Thank you for watching and listening. If this resonated with you, don't forget to hit the like button. Also, feel free to leave a comment. I don't mind comments. I do my best to check all the comments and reply to all the comments. So, awesome. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. Podcast carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and other podcasting platforms. Whatever works best for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Until next time, be blessed.